For number 3, we're factoring again. Remember to always make sure that your quadratic is in standard form, highest exponent on x down to lowest, and always check for a GCF first. So this is our first problem on the study guide that actually has a GCF. Remember, if you look at the factors of your smallest number, that's the easiest way to find your GCF. So the largest number that goes into 12 is 12, but 12 doesn't go into 16. So I try the next largest number that divides into 12, which is 6. 6 does not divide into 16. So I'll go to the next largest number that divides into 12, which is 4. And since 4 divides into 16 as well, we know our GCF is 4. So we're going to factor out the 4 out of every single term. So to do so, you divide each term by 4. So 16 divided by 4 is 4, and then we have the x squared. 16 divided by 4 again is 4, so we have plus 4x, and negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. Don't forget that 4 needs to be in your answer, in your final factored answer. But now this is the trinomial we are factoring. So our a value is 4, our b is 4, and our c is negative 3. So since our a is not a 1, we are going to use the bottoms up method, which remember the very first thing you do is multiply your a times c value. So 4 times negative 3 gives me negative 12. So I'm going to start off my binomial factors by finding numbers that multiply to get negative 12, but add to get my b value of positive 4. So when I list out the factors of negative 12, I know I have negative 1 and positive 12, 1 and negative 12. I have negative 2 and positive 6, 2 and negative 6, and negative 3 and positive 4, and 3 and negative 4. The ones that combine to get a positive 4 are the 6 and the negative 2. So I'm going to begin by not forgetting my GCF, but the binomial factors I'm starting with are going to use the negative 2 and 6. So x minus 2 and x plus 6. Now don't stop here. This is not going to multiply out to get this trinomial. We have to undo the multiplication of a that we did up here by dividing both of these terms by a. Remember, this is our a value of the trinomial we're factoring, not the 16. So we're dividing by the 4 on both of these terms. And the next step that you also cannot forget is to make sure that you simplify those fractions. So the minus 2/4 becomes a minus 1/2. The positive 6/4 becomes a positive 3/2. If we were solving, we would stop there to give our solutions, but we're not solving, we're factoring. So this is when we have to do the bottoms up. Be sure that you don't do tops over. A lot of students try to do it in their head at this point, and they mistakenly move the numerator over instead of the denominator up. So this 2 comes up in front of the x to become 2x minus 1. This 2 comes up in front of the x to become 2x plus 3. And then don't forget your GCF of 4. So to check your answer, you would distribute here to get the 4x squared. We have a positive 6x and a minus 2x that gives us the positive 4x. And the negative 1 times the 3 gives me the negative 3. Then distributing the 4 is what gets me back up to what I started with. So this is our final answer. A common mistake is to leave out the GCF, so be careful with that.